Okay, I think I'm on the air. Hope so. Last week I had a big, if you remember, a big issue at this point, but I think I'm on. So let me know if I'm on, folks. And while you're responding to that, let me just catch up on the chat here. We got a bunch of people in here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for popping in early. Okay, we got Bam Ozzy is here. How are you, man? Dave R's Guitars, buddy. How you doing? Just going down here. Terry Himes, welcome. It's working my way down. Mitch Heyman, buddy. How's it going? It's working my way down. Man, there's already been a lot of chat going on. Todd Flowers is in the house. I Rock the Blues is in the house. Cool, cool. Charles Green is here. Phil Mosley Music is here. Ben Coombs is here. Awesome. Awesome. Fabulous Disaster, how's it going? And I had a request from I Rock the Blues, and I'll take care of that in a second, buddy. Rob212 is here. Nice to see ya. My good buddy Eric is here. VH and Gear TV Network, how are ya? And I'm almost at the bottom. The new guitarist, welcome. I'm probably repeating myself. Bill Frost, nice to see ya. ChickNGuitars is here. How's it going? Broxel. Thrash Metal is here. Frank Corcoran. Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Can you see me and hear me okay? What, Cheddar's in here? Cheddar's just an illusion, folks. Do not be alarmed. Can everybody see me and hear me okay? Please let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. Yes! Thank you, Mitch Heyman. Appreciate it, buddy. Okay, Oxen Braxel. Okay, so I Rock the Blues was asking me about... Daniel Horsley, welcome, was asking me about the different sounds. I can barely hear you, Todd Flowers. Okay, because I'm on studio right now. I want to do something real quick with the guitar here. So Braxel was, or sorry, I Rock the Blues was asking me about the sounds that you can get on a Les Paul, and I think he was specifically asking about the out of phase. So what I'm gonna do really quickly here, okay, because I got a lot to talk about tonight. I'm gonna go through all the different sounds that you can get. Now this is a 2016 Les Paul, so this is back in the days when they split all the pickups and did all that crazy stuff. So I'm going to go real quick through all the different sounds. Now, don't be alarmed, but the guitar is actually clean. Yes, there is no gain on this guitar. That way you can actually hear everything, okay? So I'm going to start, I'm just going to go through all the pickup positions real quick, and I'm going to split them, okay? So here's the bridge. Here's what the bridge sounds like, okay, with full humbucker. And you split the bridge and you get this. So that's the bridge. You put it in the middle position, you get both humbuckers sounding like this. Then if I just split the bridge, I get this. Then if I split just the neck, I get this. If I split both, I get this. Okay, but what you want to hear is the out of phase. So this is what the out of phase sounds like. So the out of phase happens when you put it in middle position. Okay, so middle position, in phase, both humbuckers sound like this. And when you take them out of phase, you get this. In phase, you get this. So you can hear huge difference. Out of phase, in phase. So there you go. So hopefully that answers your question. I rock the blues. I'll tell you honestly, that out of phase sound I never use. Why? Because it just, I know it's kind of cool to have, but it's not something that I would normally use in the course of a night. Okay, I'm going to go back to voice so you can hear me better. And I'm back on voice. Okay, so we got some more people pop into the chat. Let me just get caught up here. Okay, let me get caught up here. Frank Corcoran is here. Welcome. Brian Cote, bonjour. Janice, how are you, Janice? Nocturnal is in here. How are you? Sean Kennedy, nice to see you. Brad Miller. Okay. Guitar Hack, if you ever sell that guitar, I'm interested. Well, where are you located? You're probably pretty far away. I think the shipping alone will kill you. And no, this is one guitar that I will not be selling for sure. Showman Blues is here. Hey, buddy. Lars Guitar is here. Hey, man. Okay, I think I caught every. Oh no, Aaron Songs. Did not see Aaron Songs. Okay, I'm caught up. Okay, cool. So hopefully everybody's doing great. We actually got finally a decent day here in the big smoke in Toronto. We got a little bit of sun today. Apparently we're getting some of that tomorrow, and then we're back to rain. So there you go. So hopefully it's all better where all you folks are at, because it's been a very miserable. I don't know if you want to call it spring. It seems more like fall here, but hopefully you guys are all getting and gals are getting better weather where you are, because it really sucks here. Dogpaw, how are you? Nice to see you. Hey Hack, what's your go-to beer? I had a Corona today. You don't have to say A at the end of every sentence. Sean Kennedy. Ron Gillespie's here. Welcome. Lars Guitar, if I haven't said hello. All right, cool. So a couple things I wanted to chat about tonight. So I was on with as most of you know who Quentin James is. He did a live stream real late last night, and I was on there for a bit with him, and you know, I was asking like, what's you know, I was thinking of topics for tonight. There's a couple of things I want to talk about, but he was like, you know what? He made a good point. He said, "Hey, Blackie, how are you?" He goes, you know, about gigging. Why don't you talk about gigging, like actual gigging and how to get gigs? Hey, Sean Zimmerman, how are you? Because I'll tell you, you know, it's, and he made a really good point. You know, we all go on and on about, you know, playing ability and working at your craft and being a good guitar player. And obviously we all want to be good, and we all, you know, want to try to be the best player that we can be. But at the end of the day, you know, when you're gigging, and you know, there's a bunch of people in here that, you know, have been in bands and have done shows. At the end of the day, you know what? The audience really doesn't care how good you are. I mean, okay, now let me rephrase that. You have to be at a certain level. Let's say you have to be competent, you know, and I learned from the movies, you just stand in the crowd and you'll get called on stage. That's how you get gigs, right? Yeah. Not exactly. But it you know, you obviously have to reach a level of competency, but that's really it. What you do over and above that isn't really going to make an impact in terms of getting a lot of gigs. It really isn't, you know, because the only people that care are other musicians. It's those 3 or 4 in the back that are sitting there sipping their beers with their arms crossed. Those are the ones, those are the only people that care. It's not anybody in the crowd. It's not the people up dancing. They really don't care. It's what else. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about it anyway, Showman. So you know what I mean? It's they don't really care. Yeah, no worries, Sean Kennedy. Kennedy, I was having fun also. Um, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, as long as they're hearing music that they can get up and dance to, that's really all they care about. You know, like I'll give you an example. Like if I came out, not that I could because I'm a hack, but if I came out and I played like, you know, images and words, Dream Theater, and I had a band that was stellar, and we came out and we played that whole album outside of like the three Dream Theater fans that might be out there. And there's again, I'm not criticizing Dream Theater. I only wish I could play as good as Petrucci. I tell you, they out of the other than the three musicians in the audience, everybody would sit there with their arms crossed, and I bet you before we got into the second song, the place would be half empty. And as much as a hard reality that that might sound like, that is, unfortunately, that is the truth. Nobody cares. you know it's for the same reason that nobody cares if you've got the best pedals, the best tone, the best guitar. Nobody cares. The only people that have ever approached me and asked about or mentioned my playing, or oh, that was a good solo, or man, I really love your tone, the only people that are coming up to me are other players. That's it. And a good 90%, 95% of the people in there are not players. So at the end of the day, man, all they want to hear is music that sounds familiar to stuff they've heard before. And I'll get into the gigging and how you get gigs in a second. This is all leading up to that. All they care about is, man, that's a song that I know, and I'm going to get off my butt and I'm going to boogie to that song. And I'm going to grab my best girl and all that kind of thing. And I'm going to have a beer and sit down and listen to music that I already know. That's it. So again, I'm not saying, you can't, you don't have to have a level of competency. Yeah, you do. The level of competency is just that, competency. It's like, can I play these songs and not totally screw them up? Like they got to sound like the songs, and they got to have that, a consistent beat and whatever. It's got to sound decent, but beyond that, man, nobody cares. Nobody cares, and that's it. And that's it. And the other part of that is they're looking at you and they want to see that you're up there having fun. And if you're up there looking like, miserable and, like you want to beat up the bass player, or others, that'll rub off on the crowd. But apart from that, man, nobody cares. Nobody cares. So how do you get gigs? Well, before I get into that, let me just say hello to a bunch of people that just popped in here. Okay, I mentioned Blackie. Blackie, thanks for popping in. A few more people. The Dog Pa, how are you? Waleed, nice to see you, man. Nice background. Yeah, those guitars are looking pretty good back there. Who else we got? Ron Gillespie, how are you? Jack Daniels, 10101. Can't dance to that. I'd like to see somebody try to dance to Dream Theater. Again, I'm not saying anything negative about Dream Theater. I mean, I play, so I understand, the complexity, and I dig the music, but I mean, it ain't dance music. Thomas Santiago, welcome. Dry Heat, how are you, man? Thirsty Thursday, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Fred Fritch, welcome. How's it going? With the SG, you have to play AC/DC and the Firebird Johnny Winter. Well, I don't play any Johnny Winter, Waleed, but I do play AC/DC. Brad Miller, what guitar is that? I missed. I was playing the 2016 standard. Guitar Hack, doesn't social media help you with contact? Actually, not as much as you might think. So the social media thing. So let's get into that a little bit. The social media thing, Basically, what happened is back in the day, okay, you know, when you were looking for gigs, and I'm going back to like the 90s and later on, before, you know, major internet and everything else, you would literally put a little promo kit together, right? You'd go out and you'd make a decent recording, and you'd have a little, basically like a little promo kit, and you would, you know, jump in the car and you would drive to a few local bars that you've heard about that have bands, and you would drop it off with the owner, and you would hope and pray that at some point you would get a phone call. So that's how it used to be back then, and it was tough. And then of course you would phone, do follow-up calls and all that sort of thing. That's how it used to be before. The odd time maybe a bar would advertise that they're looking for bands. So you would maybe do that, or if they had jam nights, you know, and then you go and you go try a jam night out, and you'd see if you could get a gig from that. So that was sort of how it used to be. Nowadays it's like, you know, um, everything is done on, you know, if you've got a YouTube channel for your band, and if you've got you know, a Facebook page, and you talk to a bar, it's like, you're not, the promo kit is that now, and you'll say, well, look, you know, here's my YouTube channel, here's our page, you can check out the band, da 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 da. That now has become your promo kit. So you're still making the phone calls, that's still happening, but you're not going place to place. You're basically contacting them through their Facebook page now, as well as, and then you follow up with the phone call. So there's a little bit of that, but not nearly as much as it used to be, where you're going from place to place, and you know, and checking out you know, individual bars. That's sort of gone a little bit by the wayside. So Ali remembers the old times you just described. Yeah, that was about 20 years ago. Yeah, that's what we did. Cassettes. Yeah, you had a cassette. Later on, you went from cassettes. You would make a little promo CD, take a nice photo, put it on the cover, you know, and yeah, you know, you would just basically be throwing money out there and hoping that, you know, you would snag a gig or two, right? So that's how it used to go. So sort of tying back to what I was saying originally. So the toughest part, like I mean, I can only, you know, speak for myself and my history. As most of you know, I play in a couple of bands, but one band specifically, we gig a lot. When I say a lot, I think this year we're probably going to be doing somewhere in a neighborhood of 30 to 40 shows. Now that might not, actually, that might sound like a lot, but consider that those are all weekends. So like, we don't gig during the week. Those are like, you know, weekend shows, right? Where, you know, and we generally not don't like to gig in the wintertime. So those are a lot of shows, but concentrated more in the spring, summer months. So, you know, when you condense it down, it's a fair bit. It's like most weekends out of the month I'm playing. Now that came from uh 5 years. That's a 5-year investment, and only now it's paying off, right? So how did that happen? Well, initially, you know, it's getting in the door, right? It's getting the door, it's getting those first gigs. But here's the deal, right? When you get that first gig and you play a place for the first time, um, going back to what I was saying originally, if we got into a place and I played, you know, a, we were like a Dream Theater clone band or something, you know, unless we were playing for a Dream Theater audience, that would go over like a lead balloon, right? So that's basically it. So it's like, you do the show. Hopefully the owners will like what you're playing. Hopefully the people that are there will respond, and the people that are going to be there, telling you now, they're going to be the regulars. You know, you can't rely on your friends to fill a place. I mean, they might come for one, you know, one or two shows, but they're not going to show up every gig that you do, right? So you can't rely on that. You basically have to get the people that are in the place, you have to get them up, and you have to get them moving. Now, that being said, I'm strictly talking about like playing bars, okay? Strictly talking about playing bars. I'm not talking about playing theaters or anything like that. That's a whole other thing. I'm talking about playing bars. So The idea though is when you play that place for the first time, if you get that kind of reaction and you get people up and people dancing and so on and so forth, odds are that won't be your that won't be your last time there. The owner will come out because hey, they're looking just as much as you're looking, and they'll come out with their book and they'll give you like another two or three, and then you start getting regulars. So you know that out of if you've got maybe 4 bars or 5 bars that you're going to get at least 3 gigs a year out of, there's 15 shows right there, right? You know, and that's basically how you do it. And the material that you play is paramount, right? You really the songs that you play, that's probably outside of getting people up, but that's all really a big part of it. That's probably the most important thing is what material are you going to play? If you're like, man, and I was like that, I'm not going to play that. I'm not going to play this. This is what I like and whatever. If you stick to that, you know, you're playing for yourself. You're not playing for a group of people. You're assuming that everybody in that bar is basically you. And that's not the case. I mean, everybody knows that I love Kiss. Well, if I go in and I play, a bunch of Kiss tunes, yeah, maybe one or two will get by, but by the third tune, they're like, "Don't these guys play anything else?" You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that applies to any band. So you got to pick material that people want to hear. So it's got to be a variety. You're going to have people in that bar. They're going to be in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, their 60s. You have to hit all of those people. So you're going to play material from the 60s, you're going to play 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. You have to be able to hit all those people. They all have to hear something that play something that they're going to like and they're going to want to get up for. So that's really it. You got to pick the right material, see what works, what doesn't work, and constantly recycle things and bring things in and out of your set list. Okay. And that's it. So for the first 3 years, we basically did what I just told you. That's what we did. And the first year we got, I don't know, 10, 12 shows. Then the second year we got, I think we maybe got a little more, maybe 15 to 20 shows. And the other thing too is we did a lot of charity stuff too. So that always helps, right? Because you play a charity event, I mean, you're not just doing it to get the gigs. Obviously, you want to support a cause, but sometimes the people that organize these things, they'll suggest you to other places, and you're playing to an audience, and they, oh well, I want these guys at my birthday party or whatever, and then it kind of goes from there. So you kind of build up, you build up like that. But it was a really, really slow build, folks. It was a really slow build. It was like, again, like maybe 10, 12 one year and then maybe 15 to 20 the other year. But what happened was, after playing so many places, after about between 3 and 4 years, what happened was, and here's another thing. At least I don't know. I guess it all depends on where you're from, but where I am, there's a lot of bars that you can't play, um, without having an agent. Like they just will not book you. So there's a lot of bars where you walk in and you say, "Hey, I'm in this band and blah blah blah," and we play here and there, and it's like, well, we only go through an agent, and then that sort of shuts it down right there. And there is a lot of bars that do that, and typically the better bars are the ones that do that. So the ones that you really, really want to play are the ones that use the agents. So the idea is you got to get an agent. Now, somebody was asking me, I saw in the chat, how do you get an agent? Well, you can chase one down, or if you're making enough noise out there and you cross paths enough, then the agents come after you. And that's what made the difference in the last year and a half is we still get our own stuff, but then the agent comes in and fills in all the gaps. And generally the gigs we get from the agent are twofold. One is we play better places, and secondly, we always make more money. and that's including the cut that the agent gets. And when I say more money, keep in mind, folks, you know, if you're a bar band guy, when I say more money, maybe enough money to pay for 2 beers and your gas. That's more money. All right. You're not making money doing this. This is just for the love of doing it. But that's basically it. And when you play a bar for an agent, okay, it's the same thing. You're back to square one again. Agent takes a chance on you. Okay, go play this place. Never been there before. You don't know the crowd. You walk in. If you don't have that crowd up, dancing and moving, if you don't impress the owners, all right, that agent's going to drop you like a hot potato. You have to, again, do what I was saying earlier, get the crowd up, get the crowd dancing and all that. And then what happens is, because the agent will come back and say to the owner, so how were they? Oh, they did really good. We sold all kinds of beer. Everybody was up. Guess what? Now that becomes another one of your regular stops, right? And that's basically how it goes. That's how it goes. So it's not how great we play, because I'm telling you, our band is nothing to write home about. We're just decent. We're competent, right? It's the song selection. It's a song selection. It's the presentation on stage. Are we talking to the crowd? Are we part of the night? Are we getting everybody up? That's really all it is. They couldn't give a rat's ass if I was playing a Les Paul or if I was playing a broom. They couldn't care less. That's, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. Okay. In terms of, again, just playing bars. Okay. As a cover band. All right. I've been talking way too much. Let me get back to the chat here. Let's see who I've missed, because a lot of people have popped in since I started yakking here. Yeah, Wally, the most difficult thing is to get a booking agent. Yeah, it took us about 3 to 4 years to accomplish that feat. Jasco Plumbing, how are you, man? Nice to see you. Mark Dillon, how's it going? Thanks, Nocturnal. Yeah, folks, I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram. So check that out as well. Guitar Hack, do you do weddings? We're supposed to do one next year. We did a 50th birthday party 2 weeks ago now. So we're starting. We've done a couple of private parties. Our first wedding is supposed to be next week. Back in the 90s, though, I was more into that sort of thing, but not so much nowadays. You didn't miss any Kiss music, Will. No worries. Todd Groff is here. How are you? Okay, and it just jumped on me again. Hey, buddy. Johnny Beane is here. How are you, man? Krellbar. Charlie S. Okay, just jumped on me. Okay, cool. Dayworth Guitars, I saw you had a new logo. I also heard you had some new merch in the Teespring shop. That stuff looks great. Thank you so much. Yes, folks. So there's a couple of things I was going to mention. So I reopened the Guitar Hack store today. So thanks to Nocturnal, I've got a whole whack of new designs and things. I got the original logo shirts, and then I've got a couple of others and some different sayings on the back. So it's again all that stuff, the hoodies and the t-shirts and tote bags, now mugs with new logos and new sayings on them, and they look pretty cool. And yeah, so it's really cool. I'm really happy with the stuff. She did an amazing job. I can't thank her enough for that. That was awesome. Hackaroony from Saskatoon. I'm a little bit east of that, buddy. Carl's Figura. I'm probably butchering your name. Hey, Carlos, how are you, buddy? Spencer Cron. Hey, from Louisiana. How you doing? Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, so if anybody's got any questions for me, please pop them in the chat. And if anybody's got any questions about gigging or band stuff, gear, please let me know. I got a feeling I missed probably a whole whack of stuff here, but Yeah, thanks, Nocturnal. Yeah, new merch store. 73 in the chat. You guys rock. Thank you so much. I haven't even looked. Doing good, man. That's awesome, Spencer. Cool, cool. Yeah, that being said, I don't have any gigs this weekend. I'm gigging all the time. I got no gigs this weekend. Actually, last weekend and this weekend I got no gigs. And then it starts up again. Right up until Namm. Hey, Michael B, how are you, buddy? Do you do your own sound or no? We don't pay a sound person. Man, if we paid a sound person, I wouldn't be able to buy a freaking beer. No, man. We're all self-reliant, you know. We carry our own PA, and we carry our own PA. We just powered speakers on the PA, just vocals through the PA, all instruments straight out, nothing gets mic'd. It's so bare bones, man. It really, really is. Waleed, Burstbucker Pro or Classic 57? My preference is the 57s. Actually, that SG right there, that's got 57s on it. I love the 57 pickups. The lower the output, the better for me. These ones, these are the Burstbucker Pros. I like the Burstbucker Pros too, but I generally like the lower output pickups. Dale Palmer, how does your band choose what songs to play? Usually what we do is we kind of go around and everybody picks one, and then we kind of vote. And you know what? If we're not sure, we'll try it. And we'll usually give a song. There's a lot of songs we've just learned and then threw away because they weren't getting a response. And some of them were my favorites, man. And you know what? I'm gonna play a little trivia with you here now, right? I generally like really obscure shit that I grew up with, right? How many of you in the chat ever heard of a song called Turning Japanese? That's a song that we learned. I was on cloud9, because I absolutely love that song. We played it. It didn't sound bad. I actually have a live clip of that on my playlist. We played it at this place. They had lights and a fog machine. It was kind of cool. Anyways, and I absolutely love that song, but we played it. I don't know. I think we tried it maybe half a dozen times at different shows, and it got very little response, and we dropped it. And I was really upset because I love that song. Does anybody know Turning Japanese? And name the band that played that song. I'll give you a year. It was 1979. Showman Blues. So did bars ever pay any better than they do now? I swear I was making when I played back in the 60s. Guitar Hack. So Showman Blues, the answer, well, here's the thing. When I played in the function band, which is like the wedding band, function band, whatever you want to call it, I made decent money, but this was back when I was in my 20s. But then when I dropped that and went and played in a rock band, I made like a fifth of what I used to make. So yeah, I think it all depends. Like if you're in a corporate band, like I played a yacht club a couple of weeks ago, and that's as close to corporate as we've got, but we're going back next year and they're going to literally pay us double. So now we're approaching what I used to make back in the day. So I don't know. I think it really depends. If you're in a corporate band, you're probably going to make a lot more money than just the bar band. If you see folks, if you walk into a bar and you see a bunch of old farts like me up there playing guitars, you know they're only doing it because they love it. They ain't making squat, you know. Just be nice and applaud for these guys because they're just there because they love doing it. There's really no other reason, honestly. Okay, I'm just catching up. Oh, wait a minute. The Vapors. Yes, it is the Vapors. Yeah, you guys got it. That's awesome. Dave R's Guitars 57s or BB1, BB2? I'd probably go with the BB1s. Probably. But I don't know, it'd be a toss-up. I'd have to A-B them. I really think so. That's it. Jack Daniels, you guys got it, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. It is said that you have to ask that question. Yeah, you mean it's sad that I have to, yeah, it's sad. Yeah. That's such a great song, man. I love that solo, man. It's like I was so happy playing that song. It's like nobody likes it. I'm like, shit. What are you gonna do? So that's what I mean. You gotta sacrifice, man. Songs that you love. But it's like, am I playing it for me? Am I playing it for the audience? Like you gotta make that. It's not easy, man. It really isn't. Bobby Clipper is here. How are you? Paul Lou, welcome. Elf Hermie, the Vapors. Okay, everybody. I remember that song. JJ. Hey, JJ. JJK House of Harleys. How are you, man? Turning Japanese. Okay. Most of you guys got that. Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive. You know what that means? You're as old as I am. That's what that means. That song would go well around my area. There you go, Michael B. There's a song for you to do, man. There, feel free. Take it. Nobody likes it here. Someone else, really? Spencer Cron? Someone did a remake of that song? Wow. ChickNGuitars just bought a used Plimsoll off of Reverb. I've been itching for one since I saw your comparison, and my husband stole back the DS1. Okay, the Plimsoll, just me, best damn overdrive on the market. I have not played an overdrive better than the Plimsoll yet, and here's why the Plimsoll is great. Okay, I got a Burstbucker Pro guitar here. Mini humbucker's there. 57's there. 3 different sets of pickups. Whether I plug this one, that one, or that one into that Plimsoll, what will they all have in common? They will all sound great with very minimal tweaking. If you've got a pedal that just sounds good and you're just, maybe moving a little bit of EQ and that's it, that's a good pedal. That's the pedal I want. If I'm struggling for a good tone every time I switch a guitar, that's a shit pedal as far as I'm concerned. That's what makes the Plimsoll good. It works with everything. It's just a great sounding pedal. Johnny Bean just got a festival gig and after party in Oakland. They contacted me. Now got to learn the songs. Good luck, Johnny. You'll be fine, Johnny. You're the real deal, buddy. You're not a hack. Johnny's not a hack. Waleed Guitar Hack, are you tempted sometime to be the wrong guitarist at the wrong gig and shred that? Oh, you have no idea. You know what I do, Waleed, is I kind of, to amuse myself, I'll play really, there's a couple of songs where I play some really, how would I put it? Not arrogant, ignorant, obnoxious, maybe, solos. Where, it'll be like, it'll be a song that I generally am not a fan of, and then I'll just play a long, stupid solo in it. And I'll extend it on purpose and just then I'll take the mean looks for a while. Because that 1 or 2 people in the back may actually like it. And I'm talking like, what's that, 30 seconds out of the night, that I go nuts, right? Because otherwise I'm just gonna pop a vein in my head. But yeah, so that's your question, yeah. Not that I can shred, but I play as best as I can and try to do some interesting stuff. So I usually get an opportunity to do that maybe 2-3 times a night. So otherwise you will go nuts. Does your SG have neck dive? If so, does it drive you? No. Yeah, and everyone, keeps going on about neck dives on an SG. So there's my SG. Now, I don't know if you can see it below. There's the strap. Strap's kind of thick on it, right? So that might be part of it. But the SG and neck dive has never been an issue for me. Wolverella Guitar Hack, when I gigged in the late 70s and through the 80s, we averaged 600 for bars, 1,200 for private clubs. Wow. Private parties, 3,500. Yeah. Well, for a bar, $600. We're more like $5 today. And back when I was playing in clubs $2,800, $1,200 for a private club. If it was a 2-nighter, yes. If it was a 3-nighter, it'd be $1,800. Private parties, well, we used to make $5,000 for New Year's, and this is like in the 90s. I don't get anything near that now. Not even close. Not even close. Oh, the chat disappears and it comes back. Aaron Songs, it's lives. It's live. Gotta wank it. Yeah, I try, Aaron. I try to have some fun, man. I really do. Mine doesn't have neck dive either. There you go. Todd Flowers doesn't have neck dive. Showing Bluesy Hack. I picked up a cool Crescent Moon SG a few weeks back. Worn in, sounds great, feels great. Really lucked out. Yeah, I'm a big fan of an SG guitar. You know, it's light and it's great, man. I've done a lot of gigs with that guitar. You know, I would say there's two guitars that are sort of I never worry about, you know, like in terms of if it, you know, if you're playing a play, there's just some like question mark as to where you're going and what you're going to play, and that I'd say next to Blackie, probably the SG would be number 2 because it just works, and the tone is awesome. Jeff Harper is here. Hey man, I hope I haven't missed anyone. If I have, I apologize. Loogie Flux, nice to see you. Will Varela, when I say bar, I mean places like big time bars. Oh, okay, yeah. See, I'm talking little, you know, little bars, not nothing. I mean, the bars I play will hold, I don't know, at the most maybe 200-300 people. Davis Guitars, my 2018 does from the locking tuners. The 2010 does not with the clue. Okay, so it's the weight of the headstock then. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't had that issue. I really haven't. Waleed, watch out, the bear behind you is moving. We're talking about that bear right there. Everybody loves the bear. Did you notice my Kiss phone? That's a Kiss phone, folks, right over there. Is Will in here? Will, that's a Kiss phone. When Gene calls me, that phone rings. Anyways. Okay, so oh yeah, okay. So if anybody, yeah, let me know if you've got any other questions. The bear is named Annabella. I actually never named the bear. I should name the bear. Yeah, so a couple of other things. So I have it's the demon phone, yeah. So speaking of the next 2 shows coming up, we are playing the next 2 shows with a backup bass player. I don't know if anyone has experienced that, fill-in musicians, but what is your feeling on that? We found the guy who's playing with us played actually auditioned for this band a few years back, and you know, our bass player is off to Europe for a couple weeks or whatever. So we called this guy back in. He's nice enough to do it. I mean, it's a lot of work for these guys to just come in and fill in, right? Because he's playing songs that he's only going to play for 2 gigs. I mean, he's in his own band. I'm sure he'll those will end up, you know, maybe in his repertoire. I'm just saying. You know, but it's always awkward when you're playing with somebody that, you know, you're used to that sound in your head and you're waiting for those cues and they're not there and he's doing stuff that, you know, so, but you know what, at the end of the day, what do? Do you cancel the gigs? You can't cancel the gigs because they're like literally like 2 weeks away. So we're just going to play the gigs. And one of the gigs, if Ben's in here, he saw that place. It's a madhouse. So, and that's one of the places we got to play with this guy. So, yeah, so I don't know if anybody's had any good experiences or bad experiences with fill-in guys. Let me know. I can tell you some horror stories from last year when we had a replacement drummer. Oh my God, that was a disaster. Well, let me tell the story now real quick. So we had a backup drummer, and this guy is a teacher, professional musician, plays on cruise ships and everything else. Comes out to rehearsal. He says, I only need to rehearse once with you guys. Had the song list, showed up. put the music stand beside him, and then as we were playing the songs, he'd hear how we would start it and end it, and he'd sit there and he'd make notes on his little book, right? And we're like, okay. And the rehearsal sounded okay, whatever. And then we did the gig with this guy. And what was funny was our real drummer was at the gig, and he couldn't do the gig because of a medical thing. He couldn't play at that time, right? And I'm telling you, and we're playing a well-known bar downtown Toronto, right? You know, had its own sound man, big stage, big name bands played there. And of all the times that we had to go with a backup guy, it was that venue. And oh my God, that was probably one of the shittiest gigs I've ever done in my life. It was horrendous. And this guy's a drum teacher and a professional drummer and whatever. Like, my grandmother could have hit the drums harder than this guy. It was ridiculous how bad this guy was, right? And my drummer's sitting there, and we'd finish the set, and we'd sit down with him, and he's looking at it, he goes, man, I want to go up there and do it. I'm like, buddy, you can't. It's like, he's like, he couldn't believe how bad this guy was. And this guy was, and he'd sit there and go on and on about, you know, all the wonderful things that he did and whatever. Well, he certainly didn't do them with us, I'll tell you that. And that was a horrible experience. So I've had better experiences and worse experiences, but sometimes when you've got a gigs to do, you just got to get the manpower. You know, you got to get the person up on stage. I was away. I missed 2 gigs with this band a couple years ago when I turned 50. I went away, and they did 2 gigs, and they had to use 2 guitar players to take my spot. And the one guy was all rehearsal. I'm wonderful. I'm terrific. I'm good friends with George Harrison. I kid you not. Anyways, so I heard this afterwards. The whole gig, the guy was basically hiding behind his amp. I kid you not. And this is an outdoor, like a rib fest thing. Guess what? We never went back to, or they never went back to that rib fest. We never got invited back. You just gotta laugh. What are you gonna do, right? You just gotta laugh. Does a Kiss phone have makeup? No, it's a makeup Kiss phone, Todd Graff. But thanks for asking. I only need to rehearse one time. Red alert, big-headed man. Yeah, it was disappointing, man. It really was. I had a drummer that couldn't keep time. One time his snare fell over on the floor and he kept playing with it. There. I told him afterwards, that's the first time you ever played. That's funny, Crowbar. My cousin's band used 2 girls as backup singers for one show, and they stood on either side of a unidirectional mic and sang, and unbeknownst to them, nobody could hear a thing. That's funny. That's funny, Elf. That's funny. Wolverella, we were union guys. That's why you made the big bucks. As musicians, so we usually got some good players when needed. Yeah, the union, yeah, that's a whole other thing, man. Like, that's not really a big thing here. You know, union, like, I'm not part of the musicians union, and I don't know anybody that is, actually. So, but I know in some places that's a bigger deal. And, you know, and there's venues that won't even let you play in them if you're not in the union, but that's never been a situation for me anyway. Yeah, never came across that. Yeah, that's a good one, Jack Daniels. I've heard that. Yeah, how do you know the drum stand is level? The drool comes equally from both sides of his mouth. Yeah. Yeah, so you never know. You never know. Ladybug. Guinea pig. You know, when I saw that picture, Ladybug, here's what I know about animals. I'm like, is that a guinea pig? Is that a gerbil? Is that a hamster? I have absolutely no idea what animal that was. But it's a guinea pig. Nocturnal informed me that was, in fact, a guinea pig. So that was awesome. Hey, James Smith, how are you, man? Oh, James Smith's just saying hello. Hey, James Smith, hope you're doing well. Uh-oh. He's in the chat. He just woke up, folks. Here it comes. Ready on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Quinn! My wife's not here, buddy. Sorry, Quentin. You're not getting the Queen Bee shout out because she's not in the house. But I'm sure she would do it. Do it for you if she were here. Hey, Mark Taylor, how are you? What do you do when a drummer knocks on your door paying for the pizza? Yeah, drummer jokes. Okay, I'm just catching up here, folks. Hey, Brian Landreth, how are you? Okay, cool. So if anyone's got any last minute questions for me, got about a few minutes left here. So a couple things I wanted to say. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for being in here. I don't even know. See how many people we got in the chat here. 76 people are here. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Appreciate it. You guys absolutely rock. So I want to thank you all for showing up. You guys are great. And yeah, we got it again. I haven't said this speech in a while. We've got a fantastic community in here, folks. We've got some great channels in here. Please, let's all sub each other and let's keep the community growing and keep it positive. In the short, not even a year that I've been doing this regularly, I've really seen the community grow. It's absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Showman Blues. If you like what you see, please thumbs up. I'm like 10 away from 750. Please, if you're not sub to the channel. Please help me get up to 10 subs. That would be absolutely fantastic. Appreciate that. What else is going on? I've got I reopened the Guitar Hack store. I was talking about doing that. I've got some new designs. So if anyone is interested in the Guitar Hack merch, the link is below. It's also in my banner. Check it out. There might be something there you like. What else is going on? Is Ben still in here? If Ben is in here, let me know. I just saw Ben's name, so he's still in. So Ben, is Canuck, I'm asking you on air, is CanuckCon happening? Because I need to know. If it's happening, I'll be at CanuckCon on Saturday. If it's not happening, I'll be sitting in the back having a scotch and a cigar. Simple as that. That's my life, folks. Because I don't have a gig on Saturday. So there's that. On Tuesday next week, I will be on at 7 p.m. with our good friend. Yes, this Saturday, 12 to 4. Okay. I will be on with my good friend, Jason Wade. Clam Fingers is here. Welcome. And we are going to be talking about Summer Namm. Some crazy ass shit happened the last couple of days, but we're still on track. We're still going to Summer Namm. As far as I know, we're still going to Summer Namm. By the way, if anyone would like to help me with Summer Namm and support the channel, the link is also below. But man, we had a wicked scare yesterday, but I think we're still on track. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that next Tuesday because that was some crazy ass shit that happened yesterday, man. But we're on track. We're on track. As far as I know, we're still headed there. It's gonna be good times. It's gonna be good times. Gussie Wells is here. Hey man, how are you? Guitared it. James Severin. Okay, just catching up the last. I might have missed a few people here. Oh, Nocturnal is off. See you, Nocturnal. Take care. Thank you so much. Guitar Hack, bring some good whiskey next time you come to LA. And I got some 20-year-old Cubans. Well, the next time I come to LA, I don't see myself ever going to LA, man. Unless somebody wants to buy me a plane ticket and a place to stay. I can't swing that. Quentin James, can you say hi to my friend? I'm not. No, Quentin. I was this close, buddy. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. 1,000 points of light. Not happening. Yeah. Also cool. Great to see you too, Gus. I appreciate it, man. S. Hogan, there's a new name. Welcome. 16-year-old Cubans. Okay, cool. All right. So, all right, I'm going to shut this down. So again, I want to thank, Bad Gig Blues. Thank you so much for popping in. Okay, so I want to thank everybody so much for popping in. Please, if you haven't subbed to the channel, please sub to the channel. Thumbs up would be fantastic. I don't know. I'm sure Ben is going to shoot some video on Saturday, so I'll see some of you there. I don't know if he's going to stream. I don't know what he's up to. But if not, folks, I will catch you at Tuesday at 7 p.m. unless I decide I might go live on the weekend. We'll see how it goes. I have a video coming up, by the way. If anybody's a fan of Cheap Trick, I've got a video coming up. Shit, I don't know if it's tomorrow or Saturday, but I got a video coming up with Rebel Charm, so check that out. Mrs. Hack is missing. We need her to barge in. Yeah, she's not home today. Sorry, Krellbar, she's not here today. You got a fiber connection. Okay, so we might be doing some streaming. Yeah, hopefully I can play guitar because I've been having issues with my hands, but hopefully I'll be able to play guitar Saturday. Okay, cool. Thank you all so much. You guys rock. Have a fantastic weekend. Hopefully you're going to have some great weather and just a great old time. Take care of yourselves. Be safe, and we'll catch you, if not Tuesday, if not sooner. Cheers, everybody. Take care.